The cryptocurrency community is more ecstatic than it has ever been, and there is a strong reason for this. Within a short period of time, the trial between Ripple and the SEC will be entirely concluded. A significant increase in the value of XRP is the result of this. This topic is being discussed by everyone, including professionals, legal professionals, and even Ripple's CEO himself. Nevertheless, you can't even begin to fathom how widespread this moment is. The price of XRP is expected to skyrocket to $1,700 or even higher, according to the experts who are confidently forecasting this. Quite odd, don't you think? As we delve into this fascinating new discovery, make sure you don't miss a single second of this video. Prior doing that, however, a brief disclaimer. After more than 4 years of legal drama, the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit may finally be headed toward its long-awaited conclusion, and the cryptocurrency community is holding all of its breath in anticipation of this development. A number of important deadlines are drawing near, and rumors of a possible settlement are becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. The members of the XRP community are watching the month of June as if it were the final episode of a television show that they have been following for years. Recently, enthusiasm was revived by a tweet that was sent out by Armando Pantoja. The attorney for XRP, Bill Morgan, was quoted as saying that over the next 9 days there may be a breakthrough in the struggle between Ripple and the SEC. It is possible that the issue will be resolved in its entirety as soon as June 13th. This might be the moment that the XRP army has been waiting for. There has been a steady increase in expectation, and the deadline of June 15th is quite important. Ripple and the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) submitted a combined request on April 10th, which resulted in the provision of a 60-day delay that was granted by the Second Circuit Court. This delay was not only for the sake of following protocol, it was a clear indication that both sides were working hard to find a solution to the problem. There were allegations that Ripple and the SEC had struck a verbal agreement to drop their appeals prior to the request for the halt being made. The SEC agreed to lift the permanent injunction that had been placed on Ripple's ability to sell XRP to institutions in the future. Ripple also agreed to a drastically lower payment of $50 million, which is a huge reduction from the previous amount of $125 million. This was a significant turn of events that suggested a compromise and may bring about closure. Having said that, the journey has not been completely uneventful. A motion that was submitted by both parties asking an indicative decision on the settlement was refused by Judge Analisa Torres. This refusal indicates that the court will not pre-approve the parameters of the settlement. Instead, Ripple and the SEC were forced to return to the process of setting out a plan. In the time that has passed since then, neither party has submitted a fresh motion. Nonetheless, the momentum did not stop. As of right now, the deadline for the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) to deliver a status report, which indicates whether a final settlement has been reached or whether further time is required, is still the 15th of June. The consequences of the study that was released on June 15th are enormous. In the event that the status report reveals that a resolution has been reached, this will be the conclusion of the crypto enforcement case that has received the greatest attention to this point in time. Ripple may benefit from this, since it may result in regulatory clarity and the authorization to expand further in the United States market. For those who own XRP, many of whom have patiently waited through years of legal uncertainty, it has the ability to be the catalyst they have been waiting for. It has the potential to increase the token's market value and re-establish trust in its future. Nevertheless, Ripple has never been the exclusive focus of this lawsuit. The Securities and Exchange Commission's (SEC) interpretation of securities regulations for digital assets has always been a proxy war. It is quite conceivable that the verdict will establish a precedent for the manner in which authorities will handle other blockchain initiatives and cryptocurrencies in the years to come. XRP is the only digital asset in the United States that has regulatory certainty, according to statements made by Stuart Alder, who is the chief legal officer at Ripple. At this point, it is time to move on. This feeling is getting closer and closer to being a complete reality. The 13th of June has been suggested as a potential date for a breakthrough, and the 15th of June has been designated as the official deadline imposed by the court. The last pieces of the puzzle are beginning to come together. The XRP army has endured years of uncertainty, but now, for the first time in a very long time, the end is not only in sight, it is banging on the door. This happens for the first time in a very long time. However, it remains to be seen if this chapter will end with a bang, or whether there will be another round of delays. It is certain, however, that the upcoming few days have the potential to redefine the future of cryptocurrency legislation in the United States, with Ripple being at the center of it all. The drama surrounding XRP is only growing more intriguing by the day, and experts and legal insiders are forecasting a significant change in the cryptocurrency's trajectory in the future. Also, let me inform you that the majority of people are not ready for what is going to happen. Think again if you believe that XRP has been relatively quiet as of late, since what is about to happen has the potential to blow the lid off of this case, and maybe the price chart as well. You will be able to sense the energy if you check Twitter for cryptocurrency right now. A user by the name of Steph remarked that the history of XRP will be repeated, which, as you may know, is a fairly resounding statement indicating the community believes Ripple is on the verge of another explosive cycle. With a message that was uncomplicated yet profound, Ripple Van Winkle contributed to the rising optimism. Just take a step back, XRP. Our ascent is going to be incredible. To add insult to injury, the technical setup for XRP is, to tell you the truth, looking progressively bullish. This is despite the fact that there have been litigation and delays. The leading cryptocurrency expert Egrid Crypto, as reported by Us.Thankx, is of the opinion that XRP is on the verge of seeing a meteoric rise as soon as July, with price targets ranging from $29 to $46. That is not a typo, by the way. It is his opinion that we are about to enter cycle 3, which is a phase that has the potential to shatter resistance levels that no one anticipates and melt faces. This price prediction indicates that there is a light at the end of a very long tunnel for those who have held XRP for an extended period of time and have suffered years of regulatory headwinds. On the other hand, there are the extreme forecasts which, depending on who you ask, may be described as either brilliant or delusional. According to a tweet from Finance Bro, the price of XRP will shortly reach $35,000. It is the type of audacious remark that goes viral, not because people necessarily believe it, but rather because of the sheer conviction that it conveys. Even in the face of ridicule from others, one segment of the community remains steadfast. Remy Relief, another cryptocurrency expert, recently retracted his initial forecast of $1,1200 per XRP. However, he did not do so because he had given up faith. Using irony, he quipped that I owe an apology to each and every person. Oh my God, what the hell was I thinking? It was then that he brought up the fact that even Elon Musk's artificial intelligence model Grok had agreed with him and predicted $1,700 instead. The message is unmistakable, regardless of whether you interpret this as satire, optimism, or a combination of the two. A rising number of people are coming to the conclusion that the actual value of XRP has not yet begun to be seen. The fact that artificial intelligence technologies such as Grok are now participating in the debate only serves to heighten the sense of mystery. Grok was developed to process large amounts of data and the many options for projects, and it even indicates that it is positive on XRP. Therefore, the community is not simply waiting, rather they are getting ready for the next part of Ripple's case, which is now being prepared by the court. The clock is ticking toward the 15th of June. It is feasible that the next chapter in the tale of XRP will not just be about legal triumphs, but it may also be about changing the laws of what is possible in crypto. This is particularly true if even a small percentage of these outlandish predictions come true. It is also impossible for us to overlook the collaborations that Ripple has been quietly constructing behind the scenes. There are more than just rumors or leaks this time around. Ripple's chief executive officer is making his voice heard. The future is going to be so chaotic that the majority of people aren't even close to being prepared for it. Big names, big actions. In case you thought that XRP was only about a legal dispute, you would be mistaken. The current events have the potential to completely transform the global financial system, and you are going to want to be a part of it all. According to Jack the Rippler, the new monetary system will be based on the XRP ledger and will be backed by gold. Additionally, the XRP ledger will be used to conduct transactions. Now, this is not only empty rhetoric. In reality, it is a view into the future, where XRP might serve as the foundation for a system that allows traditional currencies and stable assets such as gold to coexist on a blockchain that is quickly, securely, and transparently distributed. The CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, is at the center of this vision. He has been quite transparent about the role that XRP plays as a solution to one of the most significant issues facing the world today, which is the inefficiency of international payments. Garlinghouse provided an explanation of how XRP is used to fuel Ripple's on-demand liquidity network, which is designed to speed worldwide money transactions, in a video that was recently posted by Amelie, an advocate for XRP. Historically, the process of transporting money from the United States to Mexico has been characterized by the presence of delayed correspondent banking networks. Several